So growing up, I was always told comments like, Mari, your life is such a miracle. And I loved hearing that. And the reason why I was told that is because my mother, after my older sister was born, was told she couldn't have any more children. And she had to have 11 surgeries to have me. And then even after I was born, I had a lot of complications with my ears. And they literally told my parents and family members to say their goodbyes because I wasn't going to make it. And God is really good. And a lot of prayer, a lot of surrender, and I'm here. And so I loved hearing the comments, right? Like, wow, Mari, your life has such purpose. God must have something really big in store for you. Wow, Mari, your life is such a gift. It's such a miracle. And I really celebrated that. But the issue with this is that why is it that we have to wait for something like this to happen before we celebrate each other's lives? Like, why do we have to wait for someone to survive cancer or for someone to survive a horrible car accident? Why aren't we just going up to each other and saying like, hey, your life is very good and your life is a gift? And why would we look at each other probably a little strange if we did that? Being pro-life means that we honor life from the moment of conception to natural death. It's not just about being anti-abortion, even though that's a huge issue. It goes so much more than that. And this whole thing of being pro-life is honestly, it's gonna start with you. With you and I valuing our own life. On the way over here, I was on the plane and they had that moment, right? The stewardess comes around and she's like, in cases of emergency, and then she goes over this horrible list, and the whole time you're praying like, please, Lord, no. But in that moment, they always say, in case of emergency, the mask will fall. You must first put on your mask first before helping other people. And I think, how often is it that we just care about putting on the other person's mask? I've noticed when I travel and I speak around the countries, I'm looking at teens and I make comments like, wow, like, you're so good. You're so beautiful. You have such beautiful gifts. Thank you so much for your heart. And so many teens literally look at me and they just can't even receive the words that are coming out of my mouth. Why is it that we struggle so much with seeing the value of our own life? I think it's a mixture of a lot of things. One, social media. Let's face it, it's an issue. We're constantly comparing ourselves. We have false expectations from our parents, from our school, from our society. We're constantly, especially if we have older siblings, we're comparing ourselves and looking at what they have, and in the process, we're forgetting the gifts that we have. And then another issue is going to be the comments that our own friends and family make. And so hearing the negative labels that have been put on us since we're little, and some of them may be a joke. Oh, Mari, you're so this, or you're so that, or, you know, like you failed, or why can't you be more like your sister, or why can't you be more like this? And in the process of doing all these things, it weighs on us. I've never understood that the closer you are to someone, the worse things you can call them. I never got that. Because if you really care about someone, you're supposed to build them up and help them to see their identity, not tear it down. And so by taking a minute to like really appreciate and see that these are lies and claim the truth. The truth is that you are good. No. You are very good. The truth is that your life is a miracle. That from the moment of your conception, even before that, when the sperm is released, hundreds of millions of sperm has been released. And you made it. You are the one. You know the song, 1 in a Million? Yeah, you're the 1 in a million. When I learned that, I was like, wow, this is so amazing. Even science shows how valuable you and I are. And not only that, but every time that I look at my fingerprint, just stare at your fingers. I know it's weird. Stare at your fingers for a second. No one's ever going to have your fingerprint. No one is ever going to have that. The waves and all the little details, and it's a reminder that God's in the details. And billions of people will live before me, and billions of people will probably live after me. No one's going to have what I have. No one's going to have your gifts. No one's going to have what you can do in this world. And if we don't honor and take the time to discover our gifts and to discover what makes you you, not by what you do, but by who you are. Because you're created in the image and likeness of God. Because your dignity is inherent, which means it's there since the moment of your conception. Because the Lord has placed you in this world for a reason. And He knows you. And He knows you so well that through prayer, He wants to remind you just how good you are. When we get that, when we understand that biggest lie that I hear, right? That you're a burden. No, when we understand that you're not a burden, but that you are a gift, then we can move forward. Because by denying the gift of who we are, that's what leads to so many different things that cause harm to ourselves. Because we're denying the gift of who we are, which our Father in heaven wants to remind us on a daily basis. When we can do that, when we can get that, then we can be able to go out and really honor all life. And so what does that mean? It's going to start with basic things. How do you speak to each other? How do you listen to one another? Do you see the value in each other's lives? Because way too often we think that we're defined by our failures, that we're defined by our sins, and that if this person messed up, or if I messed up, or if I have different experiences than this person, or if they have different experiences, or if they look different, then they're less valuable. And no, it doesn't matter, because again, no one can take away that dignity from us, and we shouldn't be able to take away that dignity from someone else. The first one is going to be abortion. And I know, you're probably thinking, well, duh, but it all starts there. This is the preeminent issue. This is something that affects everything on a massive scale, where millions and millions of people have died because of it. And so if we deny that life begins at the moment of conception, and fun fact, which I find super cool, there's literally a spark that occurs at the moment of conception. This is science, super awesome. And from that moment, everything the baby needs is there. The DNA and everything that makes up the child is there. The only thing that's missing is time and nutrients. That's it. And so why do we stand up so much? Because those babies can't stand up for themselves. And we're called to be the voice for the voiceless. And I know what you're thinking. Yes, but it's not just the baby. Yeah, but this is what I love about being Catholic, that we're not just caring about the baby, we care about every single person that's involved. We care about the mother. We care about her physical well-being. We care about the father and the mother. We care about their psychological, emotional, sociological state. And when we can get that, then there's other issues going to be connected as well. And so euthanasia, which is also known as assisted suicide. Something that I love about Catholics is that we don't run away from suffering. No, we wear crosses and we celebrate the fact that suffering can lead to the greatest victory. There is no resurrection without the cross. And in our suffering, the Lord wants to meet us there. And when things are hard and we're asking God, like, why? The Lord is asking us to trust in Him and to unite our sufferings to His. Because only then can He make it something beautiful and good and redemptive. And so we're called to, in those moments of trial, to look at the Lord and to say, you are God and I am not. And so I trust you and your timing and the way that you're going to do it. And so when we can do this, when we can understand the gift of who we are, when we can see that your life has value and that you're so good and that only there's one you and that God has called you into existence because He loves you that much and He's never going to stop loving you. Literally, there's nothing you can do to make Him stop loving you. When we can understand that, we can take action. So where do we go from here? One is going to be prayer. Why? Because God is the artist who has created you. And He knows every little thing about you. And the more you spend time with Him, the more He's going to show you just how incredible and how special you truly are. And then we can inform ourselves. So if there's a life issue that you need to dive deeper in, take time to learn and take time to understand. And then once we inform ourselves and we know our value, then we can go out and help others to see just how good they are. And then we can be a beacon of light. We can build each other up and not tear each other down. And we can come together as one family who belongs to each other by just simply going to God the Father, who loves you and is never going to let you down.